Hey guys, this is the Gaming Gent. You can call me Craig, and we freaking did it. We're at the 50 sub pie special. Let's get into it. First thing you're gonna need is some puff pastry. We're gonna need some sugar, butter, pie tin, red wine, strawberries, and apples. You want to have a nice warm oven, 180 degrees Celsius, which is about 350 Fahrenheit if I'm not mistaken. From there, you want to start peeling your apples, kind of like this. It can take a while, but you know, you're not doing too many apples, so it shouldn't worry you too much. It might take you about 5-10 minutes. As you can see, I decided to speed this up here because otherwise it's going to take forever. You don't really want to do much with the skin. There is some good recipes for stuff to do with the skin, but for this, we're just going to throw them away. So get those apples peeled up, and then we move on. Start cutting them into cheeks. So you don't want any of the core, obviously. You can, if you have a core, you can take that out, but I find it's easier just to cut the cheeks off and go from there. Once you've got your cheeks all cut, you want to start preparing them into thin slices. You don't want them too small because they'll start to break down, but you don't want them too big because you want to fit them in your mouth, nice and easy. So just cut them into slices about like 1/8 of an inch wide, and then cut that in half, just like so. You want to cut your strawberries into similar size slices, like bottle caps, I guess is the best size description I can give you. Cut your strawberries down because again, if they're too small, they'll break down and that'll be real bad for the pie. Once you get your fruit cut, you want to get a big knob of butter into the pan, like so. I actually use a little bit of both. I use some oil and some butter. The oil stops the buttermilk from burning, and the butter gives it some nice flavour to go through the fruit while it's cooking. So you want to get that up to the temperature where it's just starting to sort of bubble and sizzle, as you can see in the pan. And you'll be able to hear it. Once you're pretty comfortable with the temperature of your butter, start getting your fruit in. You don't have to be too fancy with it. A bigger pot was going to help it cook faster, but this is kind of what I had in my cupboards lying around. You don't need anything special to cook anything like this. You don't need an industrial kitchen or any of the real professional tools. You can do everything I've done at home with some pots and a knife. Pretty well all you need in a kitchen. And a stove, I suppose. But that's neither here nor there. So get your fruit in, get it nice and stirred up, and then just chuck a lid on. Keep the heat inside. While that's happening, well, while the fruit's cooking, you want to start greasing your pan. Now I like to use butter for this because it's, as you can see, you just put it on with your fingers. It's very easy to do. You don't have to use a brush or anything like that. Spray oil works, but it can tend to burn and make a little weird flavor in your pan. So I'd recommend butter. If you're dairy free, go the oil route. Once it's greased up, you can put your pastry in. Now you don't want to be too careful or fussy about it because this is just going to be the base layer. So as long as that's nice and tight in there, because you want pastry to cover the whole thing. If there's any gaps, you're going to end up having bits that collapse and it's hard to get out later on. So be as neat as you can with the base, and then we're going to cut off the sides later on. Right, so to cut off the sides, you literally just run a knife around the corner of the pastry tin. Yeah, I mean, nothing fancy about it, so just run your knife around, cut off the excess, and then peel it away. After that, we're going to start measuring out the sides. Now you can use a ruler, but I just use the edge of the knife. Run it up the side and keep an eye on where it lands, and then you just use that as a guide. You don't have to be too precise with it. Again, you're just sort of getting a nice shape around the outside. Use the first cut to measure the rest, and you're good to go. Struggle a bit here with the board sliding. If you have trouble with your board sliding, put a wet paper towel or a wet cloth underneath. So once that's cut, just start folding it in. Now this first one here I actually screw up. So you see on the second one, see how I've got the fold on top of the base layer, whereas the other one's got a neat corner. You want that fold up so that way the meat, or I say the meat, the fruit doesn't try and push itself out of the corner. So you have a nice rounded edge, and that seals the pie and keeps everything nice on the inside. So just work it around. Don't worry about it if you break it too much. You can always sort of fix it up with more pastry or smudge it together later on. This is just sort of just an outer crust, really. Cut it down to the right size. You don't want to have too much overlapping or you end up with raw dough, raw pastry. And that's it. It's your pie base. Once you're happy with the base, and it's all pushed in and neat, start scoring it. Just push a fork down into it. It'll make little air holes. That way any air trapped underneath won't push your pie out of shape and into a big bubble, and the air will be able to escape. That way it doesn't get weird when it bakes. Bang that in the oven, just by itself, 180 degrees. After you have about 4 minutes. While you're doing that, stir your fruit. That should be about ready by now, or it's getting there at least. If it's still hard, you know it needs a little bit of time, but it's on the way. You can see it's getting saucy. Pull your pie out, or your base out. See, even there you can see a little bit of bubbling. Without those holes, it's very difficult to get that out. Just be careful when you're pulling the pie tin out. Obviously it's going to be very hot. By this stage, we're going to start adding some sugar to our fruit mix. It's going to be quite a bit of sugar. It is a sweet pie after all. Get a bit of a stir, have it nice and through. I do it to taste usually, but I'd say it's about 250 grams of sugar to a pie of this size, but it's going to be very dependent on your pie tin. Grab your red wine. You don't have to use red wine. You can use strawberry wine or anything else you want. Once that's mixed in and through, I'd just do it to flavor really. Start filling up your pie. As you can see, it's broken down quite a bit. Made a nice, really thick fruit mince. It's time to do the top. So we're going to do a lattice for our pie. So you just cut down some strips of your pastry, like so. Try and keep them very similar widths if you can, nice and straight. Otherwise it's going to look a bit wonky when you put it on top. Keep it again, nice and straight. So get those all cut, move the pie on over and start laying them down. Now, there's probably a quicker way to do this, but I mean this is the surefire way. You just do it like a crosshatch. Pull them back, put them down. Takes a little while, but it looks really cool in the end. Like those old Nana's pies I had to see. So just keep on going till you reach the outside with the horizontals. Nearly there. Once you're happy with your crosshatch, cut off the edges so it doesn't hang over the side. And all you have to do is egg wash. So get the yolk of an egg, scribble it around with a paintbrush and just a little bit of a thin coat on top. What that does is helps your pastry go brown. I had to change camera here. My other one ran out of room, so this is my iPhone now. But yeah, keep your egg wash and just put a little bit of sugar down, and that'll help brown your pastry really nicely. So once you've got your sugar down, your egg wash on, we're ready to bake. Put it in the oven, 180 degrees Celsius. Well, your oven's already at that temp. It's going to take about your 20 minutes. Have everything ready, pull it out. Timer's going off. Oh, what's this? In the off time, I might have cheated a little bit. Done a bit of a logo. But man, this pie looks good. Normally I'd recommend waiting, because these pies they're going to be a little bit soft while they're hot, but if you've got some ice cream or some custard or even just some cream, feel free to grab a slice. It is delicious. That's it guys, that's a strawberry apple and red wine pie. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next video. Bye.
Hey guys, I'd just like to finish this video off by saying thank you all so much. It means so much to have reached 50 subs. I've been having such a good time since I started YouTube. It's a blast. I hope you learned something in this video. The pie was, as you can tell, freaking delicious. You should definitely try and make it. I'll put the amounts of ingredients you need in the description below. Plans moving forward, I guess we'll be doing some, like, keep up with the Overwatch, obviously, because it's super fun. Maybe some Rocket League, and definitely some No Man's Sky. from there, I don't know, we'll see how we go. The next cooking video will be at 100 subs, and if you've got any descriptions, if there's anything you'd like to learn, put it in the comments, because I'll be picking the top 4 and put it into Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, the link is in my channel. I mean, that's about it. Thank you again so much. If you're new here, tap that subscribe button for more. If you like the video, put a like on. I've been the Gaming Gent. Catch you in the next one. Bye.